My girlfriend said someone better might show up, so I walked out and called off the ring. I was walking up the stairs with 2 bags of groceries when I heard Ava and her mom talking in the kitchen. Her mom asked why we still weren't engaged after 2 years, and Ava laughed like it was nothing. Then she said she wasn't ready to close doors, and what if someone better came along? I froze on the steps. I didn't make a sound. I set the bags down by the door, grabbed my keys, and walked back out like I'd never come home. I drove straight to my buddy Mateo's place and sat on his porch staring at the street. When I told him what I heard, he cracked a beer, handed it to me, and said, "Dude, she just saved you from the biggest mistake of your life." That hit hard, because I'd been looking at rings for weeks and had a jeweler appointment set for Saturday. I canceled it right there with my thumb shaking on the phone. I didn't sleep that night. In the morning, I drove back, parked down the block, and took a long breath before going in. Ava was already crying, mascara streaks down her face, acting like she'd been waiting by the door. She grabbed my arm and kept saying she didn't mean it like that. Her mom put her on the spot, you know how she is. I pulled my arm back and said, "So your real feelings only come out when you think I can't hear you? That's worse, Ava." She started talking faster, trying to touch my hand again, trying to laugh it off, trying anything. Then she ran to the bathroom, and her sister Selene stepped into the hall and looked right at me. She asked if I heard the door line, and when I nodded, she whispered that Ava said the exact same thing about her last boyfriend, Xavier, word for word. Selene said she remembered because it made her feel sick back then too, and Xavier left the same week. That's when it stopped feeling like a random mistake. I went to our bedroom and started pulling my stuff into boxes. Ava came back out and saw me packing and screamed that I was overreacting. I didn't yell back. I just kept moving, unplugging chargers, stacking my things by the door. Selene quietly grabbed tape and helped me seal the boxes. Ava followed me room to room, switching from crying to angry, saying I was throwing away something good, saying no one would love me like she did. At the car, Selene said she was sorry, and that I didn't deserve to be treated like a backup plan. As soon as I got to Mateo's, Ava started blowing up my phone. Long texts, missed calls, voice messages that went from "please come back" to "you'll regret this." I didn't answer, but every time my phone buzzed, my stomach tightened. Over the next couple weeks, Selene checked on me with short texts and dumb memes that actually made me laugh. It wasn't romantic at first. It just felt easy to talk to someone who was kind. We got coffee once, then a second time, and it turned into long walks where we talked about everything. I realized we had way more in common than Ava and I ever did. Ava used to roll her eyes at my hobbies and call them boring. Selene would ask questions and actually want to join in. Of course, Ava found out through mutual friends. She sent messages to people we both knew, saying her sister was a snake and I was doing this to hurt her. A friend warned me it would get messy, and he was right, but I didn't go back. I didn't want someone who kept a door open in my face, so I stayed gone. A few months later, I was on a hiking trail with Selene at sunset, my hands shaking again, and I asked her to marry me. She said yes before I even finished the question, and wrapped her arms around me so tight I almost fell over. We planned a small engagement party at her parents' place, but we were nervous about Ava showing up. Her parents surprised me. Her mom apologized to me for that day in the kitchen, and her dad said he just wanted peace. The party was in their backyard with about 40 people, string lights, music, and a big cake. Everything was going great until Ava showed up uninvited. She'd driven 4 hours from her new job in Portland and was still in her work clothes like she came straight from the office. She marched through the gate and walked right up to our table while we were cutting the cake. She yelled that we were disgusting and that this was sick, and the whole yard went silent. People froze with forks in the air. Selene didn't even stand up. She looked at Ava, smiled, and said, "Thanks for leaving that door open, sis." It worked out perfectly for everyone. For a second, nobody breathed. Then someone snorted, and suddenly people started laughing. Ava's mom walked over and hugged Selene like nothing was wrong. Ava started shouting again, calling Selene my second choice, and acting like she'd been wronged. Selene's dad stepped between us and told Ava to leave. He said she wasn't welcome at family events if she couldn't be civil. Ava stormed back out through the gate, still yelling, and the yard stayed quiet until her car door slammed. Now my friends are saying I bailed too fast. Was I wrong to leave?